When one speaks of the Inca Empire, few often consider a chilling truth, an unsettling paradox. Precisely at the zenith of its glory, when the ancient capital of Cusco shimmered with resplendent gold, its masterfully cut stone walls fitted with a precision that defies modern engineering, and millions lived within a stable order seemingly unshakable, this very peak heralded the quiet commencement of a countdown to its downfall. Not a single soul in that magnificent city could have imagined that in merely 12 short years, strangers from across the vast ocean would set foot on their land. And in less than 2 decades, one of the most brilliant civilizations of the Americas would disintegrate, torn apart by brutal warfare, devastating epidemics, and insatiable greed. What makes this narrative even more haunting is not merely the loss of an empire, but the fact that it was once so mighty, so enduring, that it was believed destined to last forever, to stand eternal against the currents of time. Yet, history has never favored anyone solely for their power or grandeur. It is for this reason that our journey today is far more than a simple visit to an ancient city. It is a voyage back in time to Cusco's most glorious moment, allowing us to witness a world that touched the pinnacle of power, engineering prowess, and fervent belief. And from there, to comprehend why even the most seemingly invulnerable achievements can vanish without a trace. The deeper you delve into this story, the more you will realize it is not just a chapter in Inca history, but a resounding warning for all ages, including our own modern era. You find yourself standing at a breathtaking altitude, approximately 3,400 meters above sea level. The air here is noticeably thin, each breath feeling heavier and more distinct than usual, a constant reminder of the elevation you are experiencing. Surrounding you on all 4 sides is the majestic grandeur of the soaring Andes mountain range, with peaks towering over 6,000 meters, some eternally capped with pristine white snow. Directly beneath your feet, nestled within a valley cleverly planned in the shape of the sacred puma, a potent symbol of Inca power, lies an ancient city that would stun any first-time beholder. Its colossal stone walls are fitted with extraordinary precision, so tightly joined that not even the thinnest blade could be inserted into the smallest crevice. There is no mortar or cement used, only an almost absolute exactness in each stone block. Carefully paved roads wind through the city, alongside pristine water channels flowing through meticulously calculated conduits. Grand temples, magnificent palaces, and countless sacred rituals unfold daily, with the radiant gleam of gold reflecting from every corner under the high mountain sun, creating an unforgettable and majestic spectacle. This is indeed Cusco, the navel of the world as the Inca called it, the epicenter of power and spirituality for Tawantinsuyu, the mighty Inca Empire. The year is 1520, and under the reign of Emperor Huayna Capac, the empire rests at the absolute height of its power. Its territory stretches for thousands of kilometers, from what is now Colombia all the way down to Chile, encompassing tens of millions of loyal subjects and an intricate road network spanning tens of thousands of kilometers. Every vital artery of this formidable empire converged here, the very heart of everything. The most haunting and terrifying aspect is that, standing in that moment of absolute glory, not a single one of them could have sensed that in just 12 short years, the Spanish invaders would appear, and in less than 2 decades, an entire great order, once thought invulnerable, would utterly collapse. For me, that is always what makes history more profound than any moral lesson. The existence of civilizations that seem eternal, seemingly destined never to perish, yet with just a few critical events at the right time, everything can change forever, with no turning back. The sky has yet to fully brighten, transforming from the profound black of night to a magical deep purple hue, heralding the approach of a new day. You are standing in the middle of Haucaypata, the sacred main square, the beating heart of ancient Cusco. This square is immensely vast, covered with a layer of fine, pure white sand, transported from a distant coastline over 1,000 kilometers away. This seemingly minor detail alone offers a glimpse into the extraordinary way power operated here. Sand from the sea was brought all the way up to the mountain peak, simply so the emperor would not have to step on rough ground, a potent symbol of ultimate reverence and status. Surrounding the square are sturdy rectangular architectural structures with characteristic trapezoidal doorways and windows, multi-tiered stone walls meticulously constructed, and roofs thatched with native ichu grass. Upon the stone walls are intricate patterns and small niches used for offerings, all displaying an almost obsessive order and symmetry, reflecting the architectural philosophy and cosmic worldview of the Inca. Dominating the eastern edge of the square is Coricancha, the Temple of the Sun, the most sacred site in the empire. From within the hallowed sanctuary, solemn priests emerge in robes woven from vicuña wool, the finest and softest fiber the Andes region could produce. Striking colors of red, yellow, black, and white stand out against the fabric, all dyed from natural materials, reflecting a profound connection to the earth and sky. Glimmering golden discs fastened to their chests catch the day's first sunbeams, creating a dazzling spectacle. These are the Inca nobility, often referred to as the big-eared ones, due to their elaborate ear spools, who not only wield supreme power, but also distinctly separate themselves from the rest of society. One priest tenderly holds an exquisite golden vessel, another carries sacred coca leaves. All are preparing for the ritual to welcome the sun god. For the Inca, this is not merely a symbolic ceremony. They genuinely believe themselves to be direct descendants of the sun god, and the Sapa Inca, the emperor, is his divine embodiment on earth. As the first rays of sunlight crest the mountains and touch the city, a vessel containing chicha, a traditional fermented beverage, is reverently lifted, then slowly poured into a stone channel as an offering to Pachamama, the great Earth Mother. The deep, resonant sound of conch shell trumpets echoes across the temple steps, marking the dawn of a new day within the heart of the empire. The city gradually stirs to life, amidst wisps of kitchen smoke rising into the air. The fragrant aroma of roasted corn, the comforting earthiness of boiled potatoes, and the distinctive cold scent of the high mountains intertwine, painting a vivid picture of the morning. The Inca had domesticated the potato remarkably early, developing thousands of distinct varieties, each perfectly suited to a specific altitude, soil type, and microclimate. In some corner of a street, someone is diligently preparing chuño, a unique freeze-dried potato left overnight in the harsh cold to freeze, then trodden upon to expel all its water, and finally sun-dried until completely desiccated, allowing for preservation for many years. Along the stone-paved roads, silent trains of llamas pass by. These animals are not only the primary means of transport, but also a source of precious wool, essential fuel from their dung, and occasionally food. However, their greatest value lies in their living service to daily life. It is truly astonishing that this great empire possessed no horses, no wheeled vehicles, and no conventional writing system, yet all its operations ran with an order and stability that continues to amaze and impress modern observers. Stepping into Coricancha, the first sensation is one of overwhelming awe. While the perfectly fitted stone blocks of the exterior are already astonishing, it is only upon entering that you truly grasp why this place was considered the Sacred Heart, the very soul of Cusco. The walls here are not merely decorated, but entirely covered with exquisite, thin sheets of hammered gold. This is not gold paint or a superficial plating, but shimmering precious metal reflecting light so brilliantly that the entire chamber seems to glow from within. For the Inca, gold was not a medium of exchange or a representation of wealth. Gold was considered the sweat of the sun, a sacred substance, something belonging to the divine. Thus, the Temple of the Sun had to be a place where gold was an indispensable part of ritual, rather than a mere repository of riches. In the main sanctuary, a colossal golden disc, symbolizing the sun god, is reverently positioned, ensuring that the morning rays strike it directly, reflecting and scattering light throughout the space, creating an ethereal effect. Surrounding it are statues of other deities, such as the glistening silver moon god, the majestic thunder god, and Pachamama, the Earth Mother. Afterwards, you step into the inner courtyard and are astonished by the legendary Golden Garden. Corn plants crafted from gold, their leaves also of gold, and even the heavy ears of corn rendered in gold, alongside llamas, grass, flowers, and insects all sculpted from pure gold. This was not a mere display of material ostentation, but a prayer eternally solidified in precious metal, an offering of boundless devotion. In an adjacent, distinguished chamber, you will encounter the mummified remains of deceased Inca emperors. They are not laid in coffins, but seated majestically, adorned in luxurious attire and splendid jewelry, as if still present and participating in court. The Inca held a unique belief. They did not inter their rulers in a way that severed all connection with the living world. The departed kings still retained their palaces, lands, and servants. Crucially, the successor did not inherit this vast estate, but was compelled to build their own new palace, conquer additional lands, and forge their own legacy. This was an administrative mechanism both ingenious in promoting territorial expansion and inherently unstable. It partly explains why the Inca Empire continued its relentless expansion. Each new reign had to cultivate its own glory and greatness through new conquests and constructions. By mid-morning, Haucaypata Square gradually becomes bustling and vibrant. A unique market is taking place, yet it bears no resemblance to any modern market concept we are familiar with. Here, there is no currency in circulation, nor any modern buying and selling activities. Instead, it operates as a system of goods exchange and centralized distribution. One person brings fiery chili peppers to trade for valuable salt. Another carries bundles of coca leaves, an almost essential commodity at this altitude, especially for the nobility and those engaged in arduous labor. Other groups pass by, carrying building stones, handicrafts, or fresh agricultural produce. These are citizens fulfilling their labor obligations to the state, a system known as times meter. In Inca society, every able-bodied citizen had a responsibility to dedicate a portion of their labor to the state. It was through this system that they constructed magnificent roads, painstakingly built elaborate terraced fields, erected grand temples, and distributed foodstuffs throughout the empire. In return, the state was responsible for distributing food, tools, and textiles to the populace, and supporting them during times of harvest failure. This was a highly centralized, coordinated economy, a remarkable feat of social organization. However, what astonished outsiders most was how they managed such a vast social and administrative system. There were no books, no alphabet, nor any conventional administrative documents. What they possessed was the times quipu, complex bundles of knotted cords used to record and store information. An official might hold a quipu with hundreds of knots tied at different positions, each color, position, and type of knot encoding specific data: the number of llamas, loads of corn, population figures for a province, how many granaries remained full, or even the count of soldiers ready for battle. An entire vast empire was kept in sync, not by paper and ink, but by keen collective memory, stringent administrative discipline, and these seemingly simple cords. Reflecting on history, I often find that people today are overly confident in modern technology, as if only sophisticated machinery can create large-scale organizations. But the Inca Empire serves as a powerful reminder that humanity's extraordinary organizational capacity reached its zenith long ago, before we even had electricity or the internet. By midday, you begin to ascend to the northwest of the city, heading towards Sacsayhuaman. The thin air at this altitude makes each step feel heavier, yet all fatigue dissipates the moment this monumental structure appears before your eyes. Gigantic stone walls are arranged in a distinctive zigzag pattern, with multi-ton blocks fitted together so perfectly it resembles an impossible three-dimensional jigsaw puzzle on an unimaginable scale. No one can stand before them without wondering how the ancient Inca accomplished such a phenomenal feat. The bronze tools of that era were almost insignificant when faced with such hard stone. There were no modern cranes, no wheels, no steel, only human strength, ingenious technical methods, endless time, and an almost limitless perseverance. This structure served both as an impenetrable fortress and a sacred ritual space. From above, looking down, you will see Cusco spread out in the form of the sacred puma, with Sacsayhuaman forming its head, the central square its heart, and the confluence of two rivers creating its tail. Nothing here is accidental. The Inca arranged the city precisely according to their understanding of the cosmic order, a profound harmony between architecture and their worldview. In the afternoon, You leave the stone city to descend to the mountainsides, blanketed with lush green terraced fields. These are not merely patches of cultivated land, but a farming technique elevated almost to an art form. Each terrace level is meticulously designed, with a layer of large stones beneath to ensure efficient drainage, a layer of gravel and sand in the middle to retain moisture, and fertile soil on top. Water is channeled naturally down the slope, flowing autonomously through carefully calculated conduits. Crucially, each different altitude creates its own distinct microclimate, allowing the Inca to cultivate a variety of crops on the same mountainside. Corn on the lower terraces, potatoes and quinoa at middle elevations, and more cold-tolerant tubers on the highest levels. Farmers use a simple foot plow, stamping it into the earth, prying up clods of soil, and then sowing seeds. The husband typically manages the tilling, the wife handles the planting, and the entire community aids one another. Beyond the obligatory labor for the state Maita, there is also a system of reciprocal labor between families and villages. It is these cultivated mountainsides, rather than just the opulent gold-adorned palaces, that truly nourished the empire. This is a detail that later generations too easily overlook when reflecting on history. A civilization does not endure because of symbols of power or extravagance, but because of its sustainable capacity to secure food, water, and stable order for millions of people every single day. Late in the afternoon, you stand on a grand royal road stretching southwards, a segment of the colossal road network that connected the entire empire, traversing arid deserts, mysterious jungles, and majestic high mountains. From a distance, the deep, resonant sound of a conch shell trumpet echoes, and then a time's chasqui, the legendary Inca runner, appears. He is young, with a lean and agile physique, running at this altitude with an enduring stamina as if born for the mission. He wears only a simple tunic, carries a small pouch containing coca leaves for endurance, and some dried food, along with a quipu bearing an important message from a distant land. Every few kilometers, there is a relay station with the next runner already waiting. They meet, running parallel for a moment, transferring the quipu and the oral information that the knots cannot fully convey. Then, the new runner sprints away at a dizzying pace. Thanks to this sophisticated relay system, messages could be transmitted with incredible speed. Indeed, fresh fish from the distant coast could reach the emperor's table in Cusco within mere days. An empire with no horses could still manage swift administration and communication, solely through the extraordinary power of human feet. As the royal road crosses a dizzying, deep chasm, you will see a spectacular braided grass rope bridge suspended precariously between two rocky banks. The bridge sways and creaks, appearing so fragile that a modern person might hesitate to cross. Yet, it stands firm, supporting lines of people and llamas as they pass over. Once a year, the entire community comes together to dismantle the old bridge and weave an entirely new one. This structure endures not merely because of its rudimentary materials, but because of the collective memory of how to build it, and a responsibility passed down from generation to generation. This is a small detail, yet it provokes much reflection. Many of the most enduring things in history, in reality, are not sustainable because of their inherent material composition, but because people remember how to maintain and recreate them through sheer will and communal effort. Night descends upon Cusco, bringing a serene, almost mystical beauty. In the absence of artificial streetlights, the heavens above blaze with a miraculous radiance. At this altitude, in air completely free from light pollution, the Milky Way sprawls across the celestial dome, a shimmering river of stars flowing majestically overhead. An Inca astronomer would point out unique constellations to you, not formed by brilliant stars, but by the dark nebulae, the dark constellations that only the Inca could discern within the shadowy expanse of the cosmos. The llama, the fox, the serpent. Their observation of the skies wasn't merely for divine worship. They meticulously applied this astronomical knowledge to calculate planting seasons, determining the optimal times for cultivation, thereby orchestrating an agricultural system that sustained millions. Here, astronomy was not merely an academic discipline, divorced from daily life. It was agriculture, it was religion, it was politics, and fundamentally, it was the very essence of survival. You find yourself back in Haucaypata, the central plaza. The white sand, now dimly illuminated, merely reflects the faint starlight from the heavens above. After a long day exploring Cusco, what truly resonates isn't just the gleaming gold or the colossal stones. It's the profound realization that you've witnessed a civilization that built the seemingly impossible, driven by quintessentially human qualities: iron discipline, unwavering faith, relentless collective labor, astute observation, and indomitable will. Yet, history has never been gentle or forgiving to any civilization. In just 12 years, the Spanish conquistadors would arrive. Horrific plagues, divisive civil war, and insatiable greed would sweep through and devastate the empire. Gold would be melted into ingots, temples utterly destroyed, and Catholic churches erected upon the very foundations of Inca structures. But the magnificent stone walls would endure. They stand as a testament, a stark yet profound reminder. A people can be conquered, an empire erased from the map, but the true values they bequeath to the world can stand firm, outlasting every conqueror. And if we were to stop here, at a mere sense of regret for a lost civilization, it would, in my view, be insufficient. Far more valuable, I believe, is to delve a step deeper and truly comprehend why the story of Cusco retains such profound weight and relevance for people today. For the Inca Empire didn't just leave behind stone walls that future generations admire for their engineering prowess. They also bequeathed a profound philosophy concerning the harmonious relationship between humanity and nature, the intrinsic link between power and responsibility, and the long-term self-sustaining capacity of a societal organization. Their terraced fields weren't built solely for cultivation, but as an ingenious adaptation to the harsh, mountainous terrain. They observed the heavens not merely to worship deities, but to precisely understand planting times and safeguard their crops. They maintained vast networks of suspension bridges, mountain roads, enormous food storehouses, and agile relay runners, not to flaunt power, but to ensure the very survival and sustainable operation of an entire empire under some of the most challenging conditions imaginable. The closer one looks, the clearer it becomes that behind the dazzling splendor lay a civilization constructed with eminently practical and sagacious survival instincts. And this, precisely, is the point that has given me the most pause for thought. History is often remembered in its most overwhelming manifestations. People recall the gleaming gold of Coricancha, the colossal stones of Sacsayhuaman, or the tragic downfall when the Spanish swept in. Yet, the truly invaluable lessons often lie in far less glamorous aspects. Their efficient organization of communal labor, their methods of food preservation to navigate difficult times, their ingenious adaptation to a harsh climate, and their seamless integration of belief systems with daily life, rather than separating the two. A powerful civilization is not merely one that erects magnificent structures or accumulates vast wealth. A truly remarkable civilization is one that knows how to ensure millions survive, live orderly lives, and exist in harmonious rhythm with nature, rather than completely detached from it. Perhaps this is precisely why, when I reflect on Cusco, I see not just magnificent splendor, but also perceive a gentle yet profoundly impactful reminder for future generations. The more we live in the modern era, the easier it becomes for humanity to confuse superficial conveniences with truly foundational principles. The more technology we possess, the more readily we assume that power resides in dizzying speed, immense scale, or things that can be immediately measured and showcased. Yet, the Inca Empire presented us with an entirely different truth. A society could achieve an extraordinarily high level of development without conforming to any modern standards. A civilization could attain a phenomenal degree of organization despite lacking the wheel, a familiar written language system, or iron and steel, unlike their counterparts in Eurasia. This compels us to be far more humble when evaluating the past, and indeed, more circumspect when examining our own present, prompting us to question what true values truly are. For if there is one paramount lesson to be gleaned from the story of Cusco, it is this: no pinnacle of greatness is ever immune to decline. An empire, however astounding its engineering, However efficient its administrative system, or however potent its collective faith, can still crumble when simultaneous, successive blows land at a critical juncture. Horrific epidemics, deep internal divisions, fierce power struggles, brutal foreign invasion, and unbridled greed did not merely destroy architectural marvels or plunder gold and treasures. They shattered the ironclad belief in the permanence of an order once considered eternal. And this is a point I believe today's observers should truly pause and ponder at length. No civilization is ever defeated solely from without. Time and again throughout history, collapse has, in fact, begun with fissures and seeds of weakness that had long existed deep within. Therefore, the story of Cusco should not merely be recounted as a tragedy for us to lament and pity. Rather, it ought to be told as a reflective mirror, prompting us to re-examine how humanity is constructing its own future. What do we retain when all is convenient, when life is comfortable? But more importantly, what do we still hold on to when unforeseen adversity strikes? Do we still possess the capacity to rely on community, on solidarity, to overcome challenges together? Do we still comprehend and cherish the value of knowledge accumulated over countless generations? Do we still respect the limits of nature of this planet? And finally, are we perhaps overly confident that our current strength is invincible, unshakable? This is why I believe Cusco is not merely a silent archaeological ruin. It is a living question, a reverberating query addressed to any society currently feeling powerful, prosperous, and absolutely secure. What will truly remain if the superficial veneer is stripped away? If time and unforeseen events gradually divest us of it? What genuinely constitutes the solid foundation of a civilization? What is it that can rescue a community from the direst of adversities? And what, ultimately, is merely a transient illusion of power in a brief epoch of human history? Ultimately, what truly contributes to Cusco's enduring legacy is not the dazzling gold, once melted down and dispersed, nor the boundless power that vanished without a trace. Rather, it is the wisdom, the indomitable will, and the indelible imprint of human hands, carved into colossal stones, contoured along terraced fields, suspended halfway to the sky, and blazing trails across treacherous mountain paths. That is how they forged and organized a harmonious, sustainable life amidst an exceptionally demanding natural world. And perhaps this represents the authentic, most profound definition of a great civilization. Not something that once sowed terror or incited the greed of the world, but something that continues to compel future generations to pause, reflect, and then ask themselves, what core values are we using to build our future? If you have journeyed with me this far, you will surely also deeply sense that the story of Cusco is not merely a page from a bygone era, but also a profoundly meaningful warning, reverberating clearly in our present time. And if you yearn to continue this journey of discovering civilizations that once shone gloriously, that once reigned supreme, leaving behind countless mysteries and invaluable lessons for humanity today, then do continue to accompany me in the stories to come. For the more we contemplate the past, the more insightful our perspective on the present becomes, and the more we recognize the core values that must be preserved and cherished before it is too late.